What up, though?
What's good, D?
How you feeling, bro?
Pretty good, man.
Chillin'.
Highly favored as always.
Absolutely, man.
How you been?
Shit, you know me. Any day above the ground is a good one. Gives you another day to do something different, man.
Alright, speak. So we good. Welcome to the Educated Brothers Podcast. We on episode
13.
13. Number one. Alright.
You know
y'all looking at an unfamiliar face.
Whoa.
We're gonna get into it. You know, we usually come in with our intros, but you know, we got a special guest today. How about you introduce yourself, sir?
My name's Aaron Early. Follow me on Instagram. What is my shit? Now Aaron. I also got a poetry Instagram, Aaron Early, EARLIE _poetry.
Right.
Make sure y'all follow that.
Oh,
We got books coming out.
So those get out there.
Absolutely.
I'm bad to cut you off. What else you say, brother? Let them know.
I got books coming through in the next couple weeks. So make sure y'all copy.
Absolutely.
Already.
As always, shout out to No Talent Beats for the intro.
Holla at me.
Holla at him. Alright. So this episode 13, we felt like, you know, we should speak on relationships. Specifically, excuse me, I've been drinking.
Watermelon.
Specifically, monogamy. We're going to have people coming in and out the episode. We got another person joining us right now. Have a seat, young man.
But not just monogamy. Also other topics around monogamy.
We're going to get to all of them. We're going to hit on it. You know how the episodes usually go. We usually, end up one topic and then we end up touching on
A bunch of it.
You know, we're going to get going.
Because it's our shit.
Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Good, how you?
What's going on, man? I will show you more love, but you got a Nets hat on. I'm a Knicks fan.
That's the perfect day too, because the Bulls and the Nets playing
Oh,
right
that's
now.
right.
You gotta kick their ass.
That was unplanned, y'all. That was unplanned, by the way.
But
Unplanned.
since you're sitting here, introduce yourself.
Oh, my name's Troy, you know what I'm saying? Just
Alfred Brown.
just came to see what's up with the podcast, you know what I'm saying?
Alright, you want to, plug your Instagram, IG?
Oh, yeah, my Instagram is moneybanks973. Yeah, follow me.
Alright, nothing else? You good?
That's it.
Alright. So, let's get into it. So, we speaking on relationships, monogamy, anything that can touch towards that topic. Me and the three gentlemen, us three gentlemen right here, we were speaking on this, what was that, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
We was having a gentleman conversation, and the three of us kind of had our own ideologies on what we felt as far as like how things should go when it comes to relationships. And I felt like it would be good for us to speak on this podcast in front of the camera, because I think it's good to have more men, women as well, hear these type of things that we speak about as guys. Because I feel like people think when guys get around each other, we just start talking about nonsense. Like, we just talking bullshit. And it was a real dope conversation. I feel like other people need to get in on and hear as well. So I'm going to just start off as far as how I felt about the situation. I feel as if there's that one person out there for everybody, I feel as if, you got to go through the bullshit sometimes to meet that person. Once you meet that person, you already know who that person is and how that person is for you. And things just click, and you should be able to go about things. And as far as situations like, everything you do is for that person, for that relationship. It's not hard. It's not stressful. You ain't got to worry about outside noise affecting that relationship to the point where you ain't going to be out here just, sticking your dick into anything. That's just me. And I feel as if people who tend to say like, oh, well, relationships are bad, or the opposite sex probably does everything in the world, like, as far as cheating, just fucking around. I feel like people get hurt and don't know how to channel that hurt into positive things, and they portray that into thinking that everyone does it. But I felt like the conversation we had that day was good and beneficial, because that's not always the case. That's, it's kind of closed-minded of me to think that's always the case when people just think that way. Some people just feel like, I'm not meant for one person.
So, yeah, I think when I said before when we had that conversation too, I don't think it's like that cut and dry. A lot of people, most relationships mess up because people don't know how to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts.
The number one thing. So if you go into the situation saying, I'm doing everything for you, but it's not being reciprocated in the way you feel it should be reciprocated, it's just communication. Because the way I show appreciation or love or communicate that to you might not be the same way you receive it. So it's not just cut and dry and I'm doing this for you and you doing this for me. And it's not like that. But the problem is, the biggest thing is communication, because everybody has a different view on relationships.
Facts.
I think all of this is just antiquated. Like, look at it like the Constitution. By the time in 1787, it's 2021 now. Shit changed. Right. Back in the day, relationships, you had to mail somebody a letter just to talk to them 2 weeks later, just so you can see them. Everything is instant. Everything is right now. I'm on top of you. I work, you work. I don't see you, but I see you. That's a lot. Like, we don't want to be with somebody that much. And back in the day, we ain't have that. You also had courting. You had, when you had dowries and all this kind of shit like that. You ain't got that nowadays, right? What's the point of a relationship?
You do have courting somewhat to an extent, and it's not the same. And I think that's where communication comes in, because my idea of courting and her idea of courting might not be the same.
But then it goes back to what you were saying about the communication.
Absolutely,
right?
That's everything. Everything.
Communication is the key to life that so many people don't have access to.
Absolutely,
and it's an absolute problem.
Absolutely.
But when you communicate what your wants and needs are, that means that other person needs to pay attention to it.
But see, I feel what you're saying, because I can tell you everything I'm feeling, but if you're not comprehending it, then what we talking about? So I don't think it's communication. I think it's comprehension.
But comprehension is a part of communication.
I think
it's a part of communication. For me when I'm communicating, I have to make sure that you're receiving my message.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So that's comprehension. It's the same.
But it's comprehension not just on your end to receive it, but your end to give it. Like, exactly. I got to comprehend that you are able to comprehend what the hell I'm talking
Absolutely.
about.
And then also you got to comprehend what they want too.
Exactly.
So it's not just about comprehending what I'm saying, it's also comprehending what they're saying.
Right.
So do y'all all think that what's going on in our generation and society as a totality right now, do y'all think everything is fucked up as far as how many people think?
I think it's not fucked up, which is the problem, right? Everybody's liberated. Everybody wants to be able to do themselves. They want to be able to just, if I don't want to do this, I don't have to do it.
Facts.
And that's the truth.
That's
right?
where we at now, for real.
So now you got a lot more women, specifically, not men, being a lot more sexually liberated. Whereas back in the day, I'm saving myself for marriage. I'm wearing a chassis belt. You're not fucking me unless you're giving me the life that I need for not only myself, but my family and my future. And then men start fucking up, cheating, doing
I think
dirty, all of
that
stuff.
goes into the instant access of everything. Now, like, women have access to everything now. Like, it's literally, what do I need to stay here for? I can have whatever it is I want. Before, it was men saying, well, what are you doing for me to make me want you to be my wife? Now women are like, what are you doing for me? Because I can get everything that, you know, I can get everything too.
But the most important part about that as a man in 2021 is giving that, right? What can you do for me? How many niggas answer that question and say, I can build your house? Nobody, right? He ain't building no fucking house.
His niggas ain't building houses.
Those shit already built. We
My thing is, give them what they asking for. All they asking for
that's
is
the
that.
problem. No, half the time they don't know what they want.
Listen, women know what they want.
No, they don't.
They just want the
No, they
totality.
don't.
That's another topic. Do women know what they want?
We're not gonna go off on tangents, brother. No, see, when it comes down to it, I personally think if you're open and honest as you can be, I think that it's one of those flip of the coin type of situations. For example, if you're open and honest with how you feel about something, like, you can only control what you do, right? What you say. So if you're open and honest about what you're doing, what you're saying, and the person's not necessarily comprehending what you're doing and saying, we can't 100% be mad at them for not comprehending what we want, because they're not us, kind of thing.
But see, honesty is a really tricky thing to play with, right? Because I can be honest with you, but if I don't want to hear that shit, it don't matter how honest you are. You know what women tell us? Yeah, you should just be honest with me and say if you just want to fuck, right? How many girls you ever say, I just want to fuck?
I ain't gonna hold you. I've done it before. It works.
It works?
It works. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie on that shit.
It honestly depends on the person, because I've done that before
It's
as well.
delivery, though.
Yeah.
It's delivery.
You know what?
Because it's so
Because I
bomb.
don't be pulling up like, yo, let me fuck. Like, It's not exactly like that.
It gotta be some finesse.
It is a finesse. I ain't gonna lie.
So that
pull up.
comes, the finesse comes into where, as a man, when we have to finesse, we feel like we're lying.
Exactly.
So we feel like it's the same thing. I have to still say, I can't just come in here and say, I can't go in your DM and say, I want to fuck.
No, you can, but it's not always gonna work in your favor. But
you have to finesse it.
But let's say you are open and honest from my standpoint, and I tell her, yo, I'm not looking for nothing.
Right.
And that's not lying because I'm not looking for nothing. But if I'm telling you I'm not looking for nothing, the ball's in your court. Because you can tell me, nah, bro, I'm not with all that shit. And what am I going to do? You got it.
Okay, and this is what happens. You go, I'm not looking for nothing. But then men don't understand that sometimes too. And then you doing too much for her. You start if she start.
That's your point about communication.
Absolutely.
That's why you need
I
to
say I'm not
converse with
looking
that
for
person.
nothing.
Yo, I'm
and
not your man. It shouldn't be this.
I done been, here before. I said I'm not looking for nothing.
Bringing it back to monogamy. Bringing it back to monogamy real quick. This is why I don't believe in it. Because we doing all of this dancing around and communicating to needs and wants, but neither one of us is getting what we need or want. Mm-hmm. We only doing it because, all right, this is my only option for this girl. Half the time we going to do what the fuck we want to do anyway. So why? So for me, I can't speak for the rest of y'all. For me, I'm not committing to nothing. I don't believe in territorial relationships. Like, I'm not obligated to you. I can be with you every second of the day. But if I want to be with her tomorrow, it is what it is. And you can't get mad at me for that. Because I'm being honest, as we talked about, right? No finesse.
But this is where that gets tricky. Because feelings are irrational.
That's not up to me.
It's not. But but if you're with somebody and you care about them, let's say I could care about you and not want to be with you, right?
Listen,
yes.
I can absolutely care about you and not want to be with you.
You put way too much stock in yourself for somebody else's feelings, right? If you want to be irrational, I can't help you. There's nothing I can do.
Yo,
if you want to
the realness behind it is no. I'm really laughing because
Because
what
when he
am I
said that,
do
exactly.
if your irrationality? Because I can't control that. No matter what I say, if you want to be mad, you're gonna be mad. If you want to be happy, you're gonna be happy. No matter what I say in that regard. So
but
if
you feel some type of way about this person and they're sad, you tend to feel some type of way about them being sad.
Agreed.
So that's exactly what happens. I told you what it was. This is what's happening. You're upset. Now what?
Do you know what solace means?
No.
Solace is comfort in the signs of distress, right? So this whole time, this girl fucked up in the head, but she good because you with her and you making her feel that solace, right? Deep down, she ain't good. But she just comfortable enough that, when you're away, I'm sad, but when you're here, fuck, it is what it is. But that's what we're dealing with when we're dealing with these monogamous situations where we don't want to be in it, right?
But do y'all all feel that way though? Like y'all really wouldn't want to be for one person?
When it comes to monogamy, for me, I believe in it, but I also believe in if you're gonna do it, do it. Yeah. Me personally, I'm not in a relationship. Why? Because I still want to do my shit.
Absolutely.
So if I don't want to perpetuate something that will eventually get me in trouble, I don't want to have to go out of my way to cheat, or I don't want to have to go.
Getting in nobody's trouble.
No, but what I'm saying is like in the sense of not trouble in the sense.
It's the feeling. The trouble is not real. Trouble is not real.
Into that shit.
Yeah, but trouble's not real. It's just a feeling. It's not. It's not real.
In terms of.
You know, when your girl hits you up and say we need to talk, how you feel?
Like
you in trouble.
Yeah.
Like you in trouble.
That's a feeling though.
Yes, because y'all allowing yourselves to feel trouble. Put yourself out of the situation.
But what I'm saying is like the commitment level, the level of trouble is because I'm going out there doing my own thing. But if I'm not committed to anybody, then I don't have to, because me for monogamy, I not necessarily have to, but I respect my woman to give her a response to certain things. If I'm single, I do what the fuck I want. And I don't respond to nobody's shit. So for me, it's just, I know the common denominator is because I believe in monogamy. I'm going to just do my own thing because I don't want to have to worry about, I have to behave this way or do this. Like if I want to go out and flirt with a chick because I want to because I'm single, well, that's what the fuck I'm going to do. But I feel like if I'm committed to somebody, because personally, I'm going to feel bad. That's when the trouble comes.
So when do that feeling stop? Right? When do that feeling that I want to just flirt with whoever I want to flirt with, when do that stop, right? It don't. It don't.
You control it for
Yeah,
that
you gotta
one person.
control
Yeah, so I'm saying for that one person.
How hard is that to control that?
But see,
That's the thing. I'm not even saying that you're wrong. I like your perspective, but from my perspective, I see how the trouble can ensue. But from your point, you're right. Because like, when does it bother?
Okay, but this also goes to communication. So if I'm not, if I'm not
communicate,
no, if I can't communicate as well as you to say those feelings, then I have to deal with that in, you know what I'm saying?
But see, pardon me, and I'm gonna plug myself. Because I'm succinct with it. I'm a writer, so I'm able to really express my thoughts and express enough manipulation, because that's essentially what it is.
Absolutely.
To the woman that I'm speaking with, right? But a lot of men out here aren't able to communicate efficiently and effectively.
That's exactly
right. Because you want to be honest, you want to tell the truth, but half the time you don't even think about the whole truth. And then she find that little bit of sentence that you ain't add, and now it's the World War III. All because of a lapse of communication. And in all honesty, it don't even have to be about that, because we shouldn't be in a relationship to begin with.
But it's also society too. Like that's the norm.
Well, society determines whatever, because it's
Right,
the
but
collective what they all do.
monogamy is the norm from society.
According to society.
Exactly.
According to
So
society.
which society?
To the collective.
To the
collective.
No, just think about
It's
it.
the norm.
It's the norm in our society.
No, but that's the collective.
Because
here.
there are societies
Polygamous
and
societies,
relationships.
absolutely. But
Exactly.
here,
Yeah.
the stasis is monogamy.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, people say, "Oh, polygamy is the worst." Yo, to your point, Aaron, it's not the worst, because if you're happy with what you're doing and it makes sense to you,
No. It's talking about polygamy is the worst stuff, and I'm gonna
Is
explain
it?
Hell yeah.
okay, let me hear your point.
Because you're not just in a monogamous relationship with one woman. You're out here in a monogamous relationship with multiple women. Like,
Okay.
whose idea is that? The whole
the
thing.
kings that have all the wives.
The Mormons.
The kings didn't want wives. The kings wanted pussy. Right? So this whole concept of polygamy ain't what we think it is. I think more polyamorous is what we kind of
Okay.
think. Right? Well, we want to be able to flow through life. I want to fuck who I want
Polyamorous
to
is a
fuck,
better
right?
word. Yeah.
I want to fuck who I want to fuck. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Speak your mind.
at the same time,
None
of that territorial relationship even happening.
Yeah.
Now I'm just saying, because
going on, bro?
we recording this. I was listening. I want you to think I wasn't, but he said something.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
like, come on, bro. Come on, son. Because I heard him say something. I'm like, yo, I get it. It all was making sense what you were saying. You want to repeat what you were saying over there?
You can write on a note and slide it over.
Just
He was having his own conversation, trying to reel him in, man.
I had an hour drive and I can talk after I eat.
Trying to reel him in and everything.
Can you hear you?
But I hear what all y'all saying, and I think it's just more so what's comfortable for you. Because I've been on both sides of it. I had a 3-year span where I was just out here. Like, I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted. I was being honest about what I was doing. It was either you were going to accept it or not. I was still doing me. But then I realized that I wasn't comfortable living that life. It wasn't for me. Now, granted, I was getting into situations where like, damn, like, maybe I should try to make something out of this. But then it was like, I'm not there all the way. So I had to reel myself back. So what bothers me with it is that, like, I'm comfortable more being focused on one person. You feel me? Now I'm not perfect. I can't speak for everybody. I have had my problems in the past where I've stepped out of, relationships. But, those relationships I shouldn't have been in. You feel me? So I had to understand that a lot of the shit that I was doing was a cry for help. Me telling myself subconsciously, yo, move on from it. And I think a lot of people do that. They start, doing dirty shit, start cheating and shit because they realize they don't want to be in that situation anymore, and not being honest with themselves and with the other person and be like, yo, I can't do this.
Perspective. So for me, I just so happen to be in a situation where I was just enjoying myself, but I also enjoyed my relationship.
Right.
So it's you in one or two situations. Either you just going to do your dirt on the side, or you just going to not have no side to do a dirt on. So I figured just remove myself from this situation, right? she's still gonna be hurt. Because there ain't shit I could do that's not gonna make this girl who wanna be with me wanna be with me.
That's
Even if I'm fucking bitch after bitch after bitch after bitch after bitch, I also don't use the word bitch. That's not what I do. You know, let's scratch that from the record. Nah,
I'll edit that
nah,
out.
but at the end of the day, it's all about this weird flow of life that we have, right? Like if I meet a girl and we vibe, I can't control that. Like you meet a girl tonight, you can't control that.
That's
you
facts.
meet a girl tonight, you can't control that. Why are we trying to?
Because we feel like we can.
No, you feel obligated to.
No, we feel
Like
like
I got this girl.
sometimes.
I got this girl who blah blah blah. Regardless if she doing dirt or not, I can't. But I want to.
Right.
Why are you ignoring your wants, your desires, your needs for what? Like, for what? You only got one life to live. If Beyonce came over here right now and sat on your ass, what you gonna do? Ignore?
Nope.
But that's what we trained to do. Why are we trained to do that? Like, why are we trained to quell our desires? Like, fuck that. No. Let me express myself. Let me be with who I want to be with. Like, if you don't want to be with that person, then that monogamous relationship is for you. Like, I've met a girl that I could say, you know what? Can't nobody top this. I don't want to see nobody else next to her. Can't compare. But if I ain't with that girl, it is what it is. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like society has trained us to think like, nah, fuck that. And
So you think eventually you'll be in a committed
I
relationship?
could be.
what it sounds like to me is just, I feel like that's a no.
I could be.
Nah, but what I'm hearing is, I feel like, you know, it comes down to emotions. I feel like you have your emotions in check. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, that do sound like some healthy emotions.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It sounds like you've been in fucking therapy, nigga. Like,
No, just being real.
Like, he working on that.
Because when I say that,
Respect.
when people be like, oh, when people hear that word emotional, they think that, oh, we're only talking about the negative parts of it. Like, you can control your own happiness, you can control your own sadness.
Make better decisions.
A lot of people can't do that shit. Like, I'm just being real. I'm not one of them. I can't. When I'm mad, I'm mad. Like, I have to constantly tell myself, even at work, like, yo, just get up and walk away. Because I want to hit shit. Like, I'm not somebody to fuck out on me. But that's why I always try to keep myself up here. Like, you know, we all ball together. Y'all see me. I'm always joking around, always playing this shit. Because I know once I get to that level, like, yo, it's red. And I try not to go there because I don't like that shit. Because I can't control that anger part of me. So, are you though? Because it sounds like you got your shit.
You ain't seen that, right?
Yeah.
You ain't seen that, right?
Because you got it in check.
No, because I didn't fucking experience the shit. It ain't a check shit, because I still fall in love and do all that dumb shit too, you know? But it ain't helping me. It ain't helping me. What's the point? Like, I'm not saying don't fall in love and all that kind of shit, but a year later, that shit don't feel the same. 2 years later, that shit don't feel the same.
So
Like,
you don't think that you can fall in love with somebody in that same...
you gotta work your fucking ass off.
right, but it is work.
It's work.
Yeah, but
That
who
shit
wants
ain't
to
easy.
do that?
But see, life
No,
is easy.
no, right. Nobody wants to work for
Nobody
nothing.
wants to do
That's
it.
like
It's not even a matter of working for it, right? You can be the perfect person forever, right? If that even perfect person comes the next 5 seconds and shows that this is a better place to be, you gotta convince yourself not to be there. That's fucked up. If you get a new job offer tomorrow that offers you $5 more than what you making today, you probably be like, "Now that's $5, right?"
Nah, I do math. They did that, I'm out.
$5 do the math. Real talk, it ain't even that much.
When happiness is in play,
An hour? Bye.
when happiness is in play, that $5 ain't going back, right?
Okay.
But if that same job came and offered you the same amount of money, that $5 that you said you would take, and they offered you that happiness, how can you keep turning that shit down?
You can't.
Like, no matter how committed you are to a job, sometimes you ain't gonna get that promotion. You gonna stay stagnant, and that's relationship. Shit is stagnant,
But it's a lot of things that come into play that keep people, like kids.
which makes it even more stagnant.
Well, how?
Oh, as a parent, for starters, parenting is very fickle, right? A lot of it is I wake you up in the morning, you go to school, I go to work, I pick you up from school, we have a whole conversation, you do your homework, you go to sleep. That's every day, right? Look back at y'all history with y'all parents, right? How many interactions did you really have with your children? Like my son sits on the game all day. Like I have to pull him to have conversations about basketball, about life and stuff like that. Like, I have to literally drag him. So imagine doing that shit every single day, the same person every single day. This shit don't go nowhere.
But it matters to people.
I've been in, just going off of that, I've been in households where that type of parenting happens. Obviously, it didn't happen in mine. My mother was a single mom with 6 kids. She working. She ain't got time to speak to all of us all day. You feel me? But I get what you're saying as far as that aspect, because in the comparison of what you're making, because, you know, you don't have time to sit up there and to be in somebody's face all
I
day.
mean, you could, but that's another podcast.
Yeah,
That's another episode.
do you though?
Yeah, because see, society is built on the nuclear family, right?
Uh-huh.
That's why monogamy is such a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because XYZ is in the house, XYZ is at work, kids taken care of, everybody's happy, right? That's the American dream, right? Big house, picket fence, right? Mother, father, whatever.
Okay.
I bring it back to around the 40s, 50s, World War II, right? Women got to go to work. Women ain't in the house. Kids is out unsupervised, doing whatever they want to do. Sex is just blown up all over the place because niggas is free, right? A lot of this shit is predicated based on the fact that nobody's home. Kids don't learn as much because nobody's paying attention to their fucking homework. Like, yeah, some of us parents is out here that pay attention to our kids' homework, but a lot of us ain't, right? And all of this shit is predicated on the nuclear family. So that's that monogamy piece. And then all of a sudden, single parents skyrocketed in the 70s and 80s. Part of it, drugs, crack epidemic, all that shit. But you got a whole bunch of these situationships that grew up out of it. And now you have sex just rampant. Now you got people who say, I don't need a relationship. I'm being a single parent household anyway. Might as well fuck who I want to fuck. What's the point of waiting for this perfect situation that's never gonna come?
It's never gonna happen.
Right? So just do what you do. Enjoy your life. Like I got a real famous saying. I got a real famous saying. You're only here for a good time, not a long time, right? You're over here trying to focus on loving and being in this happy, committed relationship where now she's gonna die in 30 years. You stuck by yourself after and then what? Like, that's some real shit. It's not a matter of, like, oh, she might die. No, somebody's gonna die.
It's another.
Somebody's gonna be by themselves. And all this work is gone. Hopefully, y'all make it to 90 today.
So you watch Romeo and Juliet? They went out together.
First of all, anybody bring up that damn story?
They went out together.
That whole story ain't even have to happen that way.
Right.
Like, if I'm going, you coming with me.
No, that's selfish.
But see, that was all about the dowry, right? See, niggas ain't have enough bread for Juliet. He was over there playing the wrong game. But that's what it's about. Like, it's all about transactions. Like, it's all about how am I getting something out of somebody instead of that emotional shit that we really base relationships upon. I don't need no emotions to have sex with somebody, right? Do you?
No.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I gotta have some kind of connection. I wouldn't say necessarily.
And then this, when we spoke
vibe of some kind.
when we spoke about this,
But yeah, I don't think
previous,
that's emotions.
Yeah, so I need to have some kind of connection.
Nah.
It doesn't gotta be deep.
I definitely hit some. Yeah, she got fat ass. That's right. Shit.
I'm talking connection, like a good conversation. Like you know how to have.
But see,
I need something.
This is what I was getting at, and this is why I was saying that everyone's just different, and I had to come to grips like, yo, you can't think one way and expect everyone to feel that way, and I had to learn that everyone was different, because for me, what I didn't realize what I was doing when I was out here living my life, telling people I didn't want nothing, I was developing feelings for them women, but in the scariness of the shit that I went through in the past, I was telling myself also, I'm not going to allow it to allow me to be focused on just that one because of it. Truth be told, not all of them, but most of the girls I was dealing with in that time period, I actually had genuine feelings for them. And then once shit started to go south, certain things started happening. I had to realize to myself, like, damn, like, I need that.
See, that's why I moved down
But
here.
that's not for everybody.
I work
Like, because I'm almost the exact opposite of what you're saying. I'm almost the exact opposite on that. Like, my thing is, I know I'm meant for one person. And that don't mean you have to be that. Don't mean you have to be that. Don't mean you have to be. But my problem is I have to learn to control my feelings. Not allow my emotions, whether it's happiness or sadness, just get the best of me all the time. And that's why that's the like the middle, the battle that I'm fighting.
I'm gonna send you a link. This dude Michael Todd. You ever heard of Michael Todd?
No.
He's like a internet.
Hey, Michael Todd, the fucking chief from Beverly Hills Cop.
I don't know, but the dude, he like a black pastor. He all over YouTube, on Instagram. I'm gonna send you this, right? And he had this passage on baggage, right? Because this is what you're talking about. It's emotional baggage, right? Every single relationship that you walk into, you bring your bags with you, right? That girl that you don't want to get too emotionally invested in and emotionally attached to, it's not about nothing but you and the baggage that you have, right? So now it's like, oh, I can't do this because she ain't going to like X, Y, Z because the last one did. And now you bringing all these emotional traumas to your next relationship. You got to let that shit go. If you want to be monogamous, you can't have that shit. Like, you can't worry about, the last time she sat on this dude's lap, this is what happened. Like, when you get Santa Claus, like, but nah, that's some shit that I think is gonna affect people if they truly want to be monogamous. Like, you gotta look into disregarding your past. Like, those past relationships ain't got shit to do with your next relationship. And then you're going to start having them same problems. You're going to have them text message threads where you send 19 pictures to some niggas we know. So it's like, you gotta be able to fight through that. Mm-hmm. Which is why I don't recommend it, because we can't fight through that shit, right?
We should be out here fucking bitches.
Like, that shit exists for every last one of us. We know what our first heartbreak felt like. Right? Mm-hmm. We know the first time we caught some girl doing some bullshit, or we caught ourselves doing some bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like, we know what that shit feels like. And then we just want to continue that shit and act like it don't exist, act like a brand new nigga every single time. I don't have that in me. Like,
you are who you are. You can't just
I tell them from the rip. And I do that honesty that we talked about. And it don't work for everybody, because I'm not trying to be like braggadocious or anything, but I'm a catch. Because I do the romantic shit. I send you flowers. I write you poetry. All that shit that girls like, I will do that shit.
But you making them fall in love with you.
I'm not making them do nothing. They are making themselves. We talked about this earlier. I am not in control of your emotions.
So you telling me on one now, but you do all the loving shit.
You hold them.
I don't.
But you
I
do all the
enjoy
loving
it.
shit.
That shit is fun for me.
You fuck. Y'all fall asleep. Are you holding them?
Why not?
This nigga's cold blooded.
Why am I cold blooded for enjoying the time that I'm spending with you? My love language is quality time, so I enjoy that shit. But at the same time,
I think that goes with women. Women don't comprehend that.
That's not my fault. Like you said earlier, we gotta be able to comprehend that they are able to comprehend, right? If you ain't able to comprehend that shit, that is not the right
word. Because I've heard that so many times. Like, yeah, you say that, but you literally have been through that whole time. Like, yeah, I don't want nothing. But then she's like, well, let me make you something. All right, cool. You let me make you something. Then it's like, what? You asked.
You chose to make it.
Now you feel some type of way because you made me fool. Like, I didn't ask for that. Like, now I have to allow you. I have to tell you to stop.
The outside looking in will say you're confusing someone.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying to society. So,
But it's not confusing.
and the real problem is all they're gonna do is go back and talk to a bunch of other confused women that's gonna tell them the same shit.
Yes, that's a whole other topic. I hate when people not in the situation of another person start asking people in a different situation, like, yo, what you think about this? That's the worst shit you could possibly do.
And that's what women do.
Myself. Any choice that gets made is by me. I ain't letting nobody else make
I tell it all. I ain't got no problem. You want to know? There you go.
You asked, right?
But sometimes it is good to hear a different perspective. Like, people always ask me why I'm asking questions, because I know everything I'm thinking is not what it is. Sometimes you need to hear other shit to try to formulate an opinion on something. And even if you're not, I'm not going to like listen to what you're saying and be like, oh, that's what it is. Yeah, I'm doing that. But I can take some of what you're saying, understand, like, all right, this is how some people think, and it helps me operate and see the world a little bit different than when I usually see it.
Yeah, it's all about finding what your argument is in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't argue with you if I don't understand what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Like, I don't have to agree with you, but I need to understand you. And I think that's where a lot of people fall off at. It's like, yo, you just saying some bullshit, and I don't want to listen to it. Like, nah, if I disagree with you, I need to listen to you more. Like, I need to understand where's the disconnect?
Absolutely.
Because we might not be that far off. We might be really close to understanding each other, and it just might be like, all right, that's our one little piece that we don't connect with. Cool. Especially when it comes to communicating with women and communicating with men.
Right.
Like,
See, but Aaron, it sounds like you have a really good handle just on shit, like being open-minded. Because have you ever tried to have a conversation with a closed-minded person?
You don't. You just walk away from it?
nah, I have conversations with whoever.
With whoever? See, you better than me because he knows. I don't converse with people who can't be open-minded.
No,
Because it's going to feel like I'm talking to a wall. Like, it's not even about me being right. I want to know how you feel, but to tell me my things is stupid is like, we can't talk now.
I don't have conversations about right or wrong because it's all opinion.
Oh, yeah, it's not about right or wrong, but
So-
I need to know that we can actually talk without you just saying you're right. and I'm wrong.
Sometimes it is about right or wrong.
Right. There's facts.
Yeah, there
we
are
were sitting here last night. KD had dropped 30. No, he didn't. Like, bro, he dropped 30.
Big toe was on the line.
Exactly. Like, nah, it wasn't. Like,
It was funny that he said that because this ain't got nothing to do with the topic, but I'm bringing it up because it's funny as hell.
That's
so
fine.
we was at
You know how I feel about it.
a while back.
I know a story you want to tell.
A while back, we went to a hotel party, and we was chilling, whatever. And a friend of mine had invited some friends that I had never met. Like, I'm from North, but I do understand a lot of people from North choose not to be educated in certain areas. So my problem is I don't like that, so I always try to, preach to people. But it's not really that. I don't feel the need to have people thinking something that's not. Like you just said, oh, KD scored 30. Nah, watch him score 35 that night. Like, so my thing is, I'm going to tell you. So jump into the story. We were talking about politics. So
This was when Agent Orange was in office.
So
just to give you some context.
the girl was like, man, fuck that. I'm not voting because it don't mean much. And then, the conversation evolved into the military. So, if y'all don't know, my man's in the army. So it evolved into that. So then she goes, it don't matter. North's going to be North. We're always going to be good. What's good? What's good? Yo, buffing shit. Put your chest down, bro.
Niggas told you was gonna be hoes in here. You promise.
Hey, time out. We don't use that word.
edit that shit.
But yeah, so it evolved into military. So she goes, North gonna be good because everybody in North got guns. I'm like, wait, what? So I'm like, hold up. I'm like, if I pulled up with a tank, what y'all gonna do? She's like, we got enough people in North to fucking overthrow the government. I'm like, are you out of here? So I'm thinking to myself, I look at D because we cool enough. I'm like, yo, bro, what? He was like, yo, bro, stop arguing with her. I'm like, nah, bro, she got it.
I grab my drink. I was like, have fun, bro.
Yeah, like that. At that point, it's no point in comments. Like, what? Alright, you got it.
Because at that point, it's about common sense.
Say what up to what?
See, the camera's on, right?
Yeah, shout out Aaron, y'all. It's his birthday. Real
First of
talk.
all, my agent had to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Kind of a big deal. What's going on, y'all?
They want to know what you feel about monogamy.
Monogamy?
Yeah, go down. You gotta say it in the camera, bro. We recording. Come closer. Come on. Speak on it.
You know he Liberian, so he don't know shit about that.
He wants 10 wives.
Black men don't cheat.
Absolutely, that's facts.
That's a fact.
It's big facts.
You're not cheating in a polygamous relationship.
My thing
Back in
is,
the day, what
everything is negotiable with your partner. Whatever you and your partner believe your relationship should be, that's what it should be. 100%. There are no rules. There's no rules written in paper or written on the law. There's no laws. Your relationship is your relationship. How you dictate that is between you and your partner. That's it.
Mic drop.
That was something.
But that thing said with the hoes.
That was Love the powerful shit.
Nah, all right. So to put a bow on everything.
Nigga, always
To put a bow on everything, I'll start with.
I had to get another 2-3 episodes.
Nah,
This is good, bro.
But to
I
put
told you I'm with you.
yo, we good. But to put a bow on 13, Dante, has your mind changed on how you felt leading into this?
Oh no, I'm still going to believe what I believe. I love hearing other perspectives. I believe in monogamy for myself. I don't believe that it's the stasis for everybody. Like we just heard, it's for me. But what other people think is for them, that's cool.
All right, so I'm gonna
Everybody live their best life.
I'm gonna switch it to Aaron. How you feeling?
I believe monogamy is what you want it to be. Right?
Okay.
If that's what you into, that's what you want to do. If you want to be polygamous, you be polygamous. If you want to be polyamorous, be polyamorous. But you need to explore what you want,
Okay.
not what nobody else wants for you. And you got to be able to communicate that. Because honestly, that's the hardest part about it. Like, it's easy.
This shit don't mean nothing. You know,
It's easy to tell a girl, hey, I want to do X, Y, Z, and she has to accept it. Because that's not a her thing, it's a you thing. But a lot of us, fellas, y'all gotta speak up. Like, because if you don't want to be in a situation, you ain't gotta be in a situation.
You control relationships.
Stop letting it.
Troy?
For me, I think monogamy is possible. I don't know if
Biggest cheater.
I'm still learning myself. I don't know if I really want to do the monogamy thing. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm just doing me. You know what I'm saying?
Living your best life.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely do think it's possible, but you just gotta, like I said, you gotta have somebody that sit down and be on the same page as you, and that's just communication. That's it.
If you so happy.
What about you, sir? You gonna go around the round table? What about you?
I was gonna get to myself.
Oh, you was gonna give a long-winded speech. We all had to like be real quick. We get to think about
We
it.
ain't had to do that, but you know, I posed the question. That's why I got some time to think about my shit. And me being the understanding person that I am,
Say you alright.
Anyway, y'all ain't see that. I just gave him a little finger. I still pretty much believe what I believe as far as one-on-one relationships. Like the Liberian man said, relationships are what you're supposed to make it. You make your own rules in your relationship. Whatever works for you, works for you. You don't have to put societal norms into your relationship. If you want to have an open relationship, do that. If you and your partner are cool with y'all messing with, multiple people, by all means, go for that. You just have to have those type of conversations, that type of good communication to let that shit be known at the beginning, so it's not something that's sprung up on people, so everyone's not sitting there like, yo, there's some bullshit, you didn't tell me that at the beginning. So that's just how I feel on it. Do I think monogamy can happen? Absolutely. I still believe in it. It is what it is.
Before we get on up out of here, one more drop. Let them know where we can find you at, bro.
Again, you can find me on Instagram now, Aaron _ and Aaron Early _ poetry. That's EARLIE. Despite what Justin thinks, just make sure y'all follow me. I got a book coming out soon. A collection of poetry. I ain't gonna tell you what kind. And here we go. Coming out motivation. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, my name's Troy. You can follow me on Instagram at moneybanks973.
Yeah, don't follow me on Twitter because I'll be talking.
You're crazy on Twitter, right?
You talking about shut that shit up? That's the plan.
Yeah, I'm anonymous, but I'm Kenny K88, LIB to the world, you feel me? Listen, cheaters, this is not for y'all, this is for the real men. I'm one of them. But you'll check me on IG, Kenny K88.
Yo, with that being said, that's a wrap for episode 13.
Yes, sir.
Follow me on IG as always. Bigger _ Sean _ Dante.
Oh, I forgot you got hella underscores.
Go ahead, bro.
It's Dante.
Black men no cheat.
This is the Educated Brothers Podcast. We gon' holler.
No talent beats. Play us out, baby. That's it.
Y'all perspectives is dope, yo. Oh, good.
Right, that's what he said. When we was out there talking, he was like, "Oh, we need to go find that."
We legit sat outside for like a whole hour after the game.
Yeah, we said the same shit.
Yeah.